Hello, everybody. You already know me, so I'm not going to introduce myself. And we're now back for another Behind the Mic. And this time, we're going to be with Austin Nebbia.
Hello.
Now, usually, I would explain to everyone what you do, but I'm not going to do that. In fact, the first question is, what do we know you from?
Well, no. Let's see. I'm long running. I'm Tidus in Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
I was Kane in Ghost Rider. I'm now Detective Daniel Ketch in
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Rider, and I'm the lead role of Nick DiNozzo in Skye.
Mm-hmm. Now, what else have you been working on? If anything, not in this.
Not in this. Well, I'm still I'm ongoing for starring in a Doctor Who audio drama called The Nth Doctor Adventures, which Michael, you have now joined me on. So congratulations on that. I'm very excited for you to join that.
Yeah,
Um,
whenever that's going to happen, yes.
it'll happen soon. Trust me. And uh, things are probably taking some different turns over at Michael. I believe you've already mentioned Project Possible once
Mm-hmm.
on your video blog.
Just once.
I'm the voice of Ron. So
Yes.
if and frankly, I'm the one that got you the job. So, but no, it's because you were talented. But the yeah, so you can come check me out on either of those. I'm doing a bunch of stuff. I'm very excited for this. I just got, literally a few hours ago, got word that I'm the voice of Hans in a full Frozen fan dub. So that's exciting. Songs and all.
Yep.
I'll let you know
Frozen,
when
Frozen, Frozen. Everybody's talking about Frozen.
because you should see it. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when that comes out. It's very exciting. Um, not really doing a whole lot else at the moment, but that stuff's keeping me pretty busy.
So, now on the other, what will you not do? I mean, what kind of project would you not touch?
Oh God, that's a really good question.
Because we all talk about what we would like to do, but
Yeah,
sometimes we never run into what we will not do until we see
right,
it.
right, yeah. Maybe like, maybe like phone trees and stuff because I don't want to be a voice that everybody hates. Like, I don't want to be the, you know, uh, to reach accounting, press one. I'd rather not do something that everybody like, oh God, I have to get this guy again. Like, I'd rather not be that. I can do like, I could see myself doing like corporate stuff, like for businesses, but maybe not that corporate. Um, so yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm a pretty open book. Honestly, whatever will hire me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what would you like to do that you haven't done or have been denied an opportunity either because you just simply have not been cast?
Oh gosh, another good question. I I recently auditioned for a I recently was not chosen for a Justice League machinima, which would have been interesting. Um, from last I heard, the guy actually wanted to cast me, but his boss went over his head and chose somebody else. So that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
sad, but it happens. And so that would have been interesting. What else would I like to do? I would. This is just a general thing for me. I would like to get more. I think I'd like to get more into anime because I've never been a huge anime person, but it's such a huge part of the voice acting world. So it would.
Anime is a beast of its own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Completely. It's absolutely the toughest. Probably one of the toughest things you could do as a voice actor. Um, but it's but I like challenges like that and I'd like to take it on more, so but I feel like I don't really know anything about it, so I think I would just need to start watching more. So
It's also not the process. I mean, the subjects too.
yeah.
Anime,
Oh,
especially,
it's dark.
it,
Yeah.
it can be. And
Yeah.
nowadays, there's a lot of this really dark stuff
Yeah.
starting to come out. I mean, there's still a bit of the lighter stuff. I mean, we've got series like Fairy Tail still going, and Sword Art Online's got its moments. It, I mean, it's great for a moment, then a lot of people die in one episode, and then
Great,
everything's
it's got a red
okay.
wedding. Awesome.
And then, a little spoiler alert, the love interest dies for a while, she comes back.
Okay, it's not much of a spoiler if she comes back, but all right.
Well, they had a whole arc about it.
Right. Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gotten really, really heavy in terms of what what they can show nowadays, and I think that that's kind of cool. And obviously, it's a cartoon, so they can do stuff with anime that they could never do in real life. So I think that's all kind of interesting. But yeah, so I'd probably just want to maybe get more immersed in that world.
All right. Now, you've gotten quite a few roles over your time. Your power
In
roles
in your series or in whatever.
in anything.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Do you tend to be typecast, or do you tend to notice that there's a role you tend to get or are attracted to?
I I wouldn't really say I'm typecast as anything because I try for anything I can get my hands on. Um, I think I do gravitate towards more. Um, I mean, obviously, if there's like if there's an impression that they ask for that I know I can do, I'm all over that. Um, but if or just kind of a general like archetype or attitude that they want me to try and exhibit, I'll totally do my best. But I wouldn't say that there's one particular thing that I find myself getting cast as a lot. I mean, I'm on two different Doctor Who series. I'm on Nth Doctor, and then somebody else is doing one. This is called Doctor Who Fan Stories, and I'm that's only been like one or two episodes, but I've been a part of that for several months now, and they've been keeping me in the loop with that, and they plan to bring me back. So I mean, I guess I guess I'm a Doctor Who fan, at least in terms of material. But in terms of actual roles I get, no, I don't really think there's a whole lot of typecasting going on. Why would you say that there's typecasting going on with me?
No, I mean you're your own judge. We
Yeah,
all tend to gravitate to a particular role, sometimes without even realizing it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge geek, so any kind of just general. There's one actual particular geek that I've wanted to play for a long time. I don't mean particular like franchise or character. That kind of archetype with the I'm trying to think of a good example. So it's that kind of like Jerry Lewis, like absent-minded professor type of thing, with his nose all plugged up. Do you know the kind of nerd that I'm referring to? Um, he's the one that usually does this kind of thing because he's thinking of a lot of ideas, and so he's just kind of he's so busy thinking he can't even blow his nose that often, so he does this kind of thing a lot. I don't know, that's just I enjoy that sort of thing, so I just if I could get a specific type of character, I think I'd like to do that kind of thing. But yeah, no, I don't really think that typecasting is really my thing, and I'm glad for that. So.
Do you have, and I'll explain this once I finish, do you have a fan favorite? I mean, I'm sure you show off your work to anyone who wants to see it. For the work
And
that
some who don't.
Yeah. And for the ones who have seen it, any of your work, which character or thing that the people you showed it to tend to like a lot more? Or just one you've noticed you get a little extra attention to?
Um, Good question. I mean, my music stuff on YouTube is often surprisingly well received. Especially like I've done some covers of some Phineas and Ferb songs because I adore that show, and the creators and writers on the show have seen it and they've talked about it and they've talked to me about it. And every single time they leave a comment, I'm just really, really honored and happy that they've taken the time to do that. But so I guess that's a little more attention grabbing than others. But in terms of like other people, Um, my impressions tend to gather some more respect. So people love Stewie, people love Zoidberg, people love Phineas. Uh, Actually, what I like is that I like discovering is I tell a lot of people that I do when I do Ghost Rider, and they want to hear Kane, so I do Kane, and they like that, which is really surprising. Um, it's kind of cool to have an original character kind of take off and have people respond to it in a way that I wouldn't have thought uh, was was really necessary for someone like me that's just getting started. So that's really cool. Um, yeah, it's it kind of varies from person to person, I guess, but it's whenever it happens, it's really enjoyable.
All right. Now let's start. Now we're gonna leave the generalized stuff, and let's
Okay.
ask about some of the roles you have been.
Yeah.
I would use. We're gonna start actually with Skye.
Okay.
So your character, you're playing the lead character of it.
Yeah.
Tell us about him.
Hmm. Well, it's a lot like me. um, he's a big, very big like retro gamer nerd, which is kind of exactly my style of gaming. I'm really not into the whole FPS thing. If I can go retro, I totally will. So I'm uh, was very glad to see he was using a Game Boy in the thing. That was really cool. It was just a nostalgia, a throwback to my childhood. Um, but yeah, I always liken Nick to uh, kind of the whole King and King Arthur, the Kid and King Arthur's Court scenario.
Yeah.
Just total fish out of water story. Um, but in this case, it's the fish out of water, but thrown into like a giant lake that he totally knows what it is. So he totally is obviously being thrust into the world of Fire Emblem. It's kind of a you know he totally gets it, but he's going through most of it kind of not believing it's happening. And I like that kind of thing because it makes him way more relatable and way more I think way more vulnerable as a character. So because he's not sure what's real or not, so he's not sure what to put his guard, when to let his guard down. Um, so I think it's a cool mix. It's just a good character to play. So thank you for writing such a strong one.
Well, I hope those sentiments are shared by others who have seen it.
I hope so too. Yeah,
So we mentioned this already. So let's talk about Ghost Rider.
please.
You have played over the total 3 characters and a 4th who never seen the light of day.
Yeah, sadness. But we kind of made the third one to
Compensate for the
yeah,
lack
to
of
compensate
the
for
fourth
the yeah, exactly. That was the word I was looking for.
Now, you're already playing the pre-created character of Tidus,
Yeah.
who's going to get a little something's going to happen to him in episode 2
Ooh, okay.
of the upcoming season. The one
Right.
should be, hopefully, recording right now.
Right.
And you are, as you said, you already played Kane, who was the villain of season 1.
Yes.
And now you're playing a new semi-supporting, kind of antagonistic detective.
And anti-hero. Let's call him an anti-hero.
All right, yeah.
I always like anti-heroes. Um, but yeah, he's cool. Sorry, come on with the question.
Well, tell us your thoughts about each of them.
About each-
Even throwing some of them the one that never seemed to see the light of day.
Right, right. Well, Tidus, I mean, I always enjoyed Tidus, mostly because I'm trying to bring a sense of, I think, same thing with Skye. I'm trying to bring the sense of relatability to Tidus that I fear lots of people obviously, didn't really get playing the game. He's kind of a bit of a loathed character, and so I enjoy.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask.
Exactly. But I enjoy taking a character that some people do not like and trying to make him likable. It's a challenge trying to put up with all the struggles that he's going through and all the weirdness and, the all the supernatural craziness that is happening with him and his friends. Which actually leads me right to Kane. And Kane is, I'll say, I think Kane is one of the best characters I've played out of all of them. He's I love how totally committed to his cause he is. And in that sense, and this is, again, just showing off how much of a geek I am, he totally believes that what he's doing is right. And in that sense, reminds me a lot of Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame, who was also very pious and who also believed that he was doing what he had to for the greater good, which is ultimately what made him such a fantastic villain and such a sad villain. It's on top of that, getting to use my lower, just in terms of the voice specifically, getting to use my lower register for that is a lot of fun. I'm just basically doing like a slightly less dramatic version of Don LaFontaine, who did all the movie trailers. So I'm just kind of doing, a little bit of a bad impression of that. And then you add the effects. So, but they still get the gist of who he was. That sorry, couldn't resist. Hi. It's great to get to be able to do that now and again. Which finally brings me to Daniel Ketch. And I, even as of right now, I don't know a whole lot about where he's going. I know that he's kind of...
Spitball it.
Yeah, I know that he's obviously vehemently opposed to the ilk that the Ghost Rider faces, and thus the Ghost Rider himself. And which is going to be a nice, party with, I think, Sora's friends, who are obviously just opposed, who are kind of on the Ghost Rider's side, but they don't really know it's him. I think it's kind of it's going to be cool to play off of that. And it's just, it's interesting getting to play a character. I always like playing totally new characters, or characters that don't have a lot of development so far, because in a sense, I kind of get to help develop them. Mm-hmm. As I believe you say I did with Kane.
Yes.
Which wasn't quite a breath of fresh air. So hopefully this will be a chance that I can do it again. And I don't really know what the future holds for him, but I think it's going to be just really, I think it's just going to be pretty exciting for whatever happens to him. I hope he doesn't die. Please don't make him die. I don't want him to die. Not yet anyway. But yeah, so it's amazing playing all these guys. I really like this. I really like this show. It's got great cast, great writing, great editing, just very well put together, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
And now for the fourth one, mm-hmm. The one that didn't get a chance to exist.
Oh yes. So are those videos still up?
They are still up.
Yeah. So I would have played the orb in the Reapers 3, which sadly never happened. Who was completely based on my terrible David Tennant impression. He had this, sort of cunning, snake-like sort of thing to him. And what I remember is that so far that's the only role that I've ever had that I auditioned for that it was like, yep, that's it, that's you. And that made me feel really, that made me really happy. It made me even sadder when I never got to do it.
I'm hoping to do it at a later point.
Yeah, I hope so as well. but you know, you know what I love what bad impressions can get you. They can get you so much. You know, Billy West says all the time that a bad, you know, a terrible impression is a fantastic original character.
Josh Brolin learned that too
Yeah, yeah, it's
for
true.
Agent K.
Yeah, it's true. Oh my God, what a fantastic Tommy. Well, no, I mean, no, he was a great Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, he was,
He
but
was a really
he
good
didn't
Tommy
think
Lee Jones.
so. He sure didn't
Yeah,
think so when he was doing the impression,
yeah,
and he got very fearful. Like, oh my God, you're bringing me on this movie to do a Tommy Lee Jones impression? Are you
yeah,
insane?
yeah. And then he turns out to be one of the probably the best characters in that movie. It's fantastic. So it was, you know, it's really cool for me to. I hope I get to do the Orb at some point. He was a delightfully uh, evil character to play, and I think a lot of people ask whether I like playing heroes or villains more, or that's kind of just a standard question for a lot of voice actors. Um, and that's a really hard line to draw. Um, I because I like playing, and I'll justify why, because I love playing villains. Um, because I like just getting into that mindset and knowing more than everybody else does. But I also like playing heroes because I feel like on TV or on movies or whatever, you know, there aren't a whole lot of things anymore that are just kind of nice, like that are just sweet and friendly. And I like playing heroes because it gives me a chance to be a person that I feel doesn't really exist a whole lot on TV very much anymore. Um, so you know, it's a really nice. Uh, you know, I think they're good foils for each other. So I like them both equally, I think. So yeah, and I think that's the extent of my
I
roles on
now
this.
have a challenge question.
Oh God, what?
You said you enjoy playing Kane. Do you enjoy playing him because he's a villain, or do you enjoy playing him as a character?
I'd say both.
Both.
Yeah, I enjoy playing him uh, because he's, you know, the character that he is. You know, you can't really separate the villain and the character. They're the same thing. The character that he is had the backstory that he does, and thus became the villain that he was.
And speaking of that backstory, your reaction to that?
Was one of the better, one of my more prouder moments, I think. I loved that scene. It was really great to get to read that out and realize, oh, damn, this guy has a past. He's got a really fractured, tortured past.
A past that reveals he's actually one of the characters.
Yes, and I keep forgetting that. It's such a vital.
It's very, very subtle.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this now, if you guys didn't get it, go rewatch the first episode near the end when Sora meets Cypher's gang for the first time. There's someone's backstory, and then go back and listen to 10, and you will see the similarities.
Which is, yeah, it's really cool to get to piece that together. And I'm trying to remember, has that character actually had any lines yet?
That character's...
The actual character.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been that character since episode 1.
Right, yeah. It's just, yeah, it's cool to get to play like that kind of other side of him. So, yeah, it was really cool. I really liked seeing that.
Sounds like you have been busy and you will still remain busy.
I hope to remain busy for as long as I can. Just found out that I'm going to go to Comic-Con this summer, which is very exciting. Might actually, with Project Possible, not sure if this will happen, but I might do a few panels at some conventions this
I
year.
heard that was all being talked about, right?
Yeah, it's still in the talking process, but it'd be very exciting if it does happen. And yeah, I just hope to, keep getting roles, keep working on your stuff, keep working on that other people's stuff.
Actually, now that I think about it, you've been working on 3 things for me.
Have I?
The third wasn't really official. It was a request.
I'm trying to remember what this was.
Musically.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that's still happening. You'll get it. So don't worry too much. It'll happen. But let's just say you might be hearing some of my musical talents in an upcoming Ghost Rider. Is that correct?
I'd like to use in Ghost Rider if possible. If anything, I'm certainly going to upload it. I'll even create a whole EP cover for it.
Oh God, you don't need to do that. But I mean, it'd be wonderful, but you don't need to. So yeah, you might be seeing that from me sometime in the future. So yeah, that's my life right now, or at least this side of it. And I love doing it. So thank you for creating such a well-written show, and I'm really honored to be a part of it.
Well, thank you for joining us too to talk about it.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
Thank you guys for stepping behind the mic, and we will see you guys later.
Bye, guys.